All right, all right, all right. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the 6.4 Technical Showcase. Tonight, I will be your host and MC. My name is Corey Ladovsky, and I am best known for being the instructor of the wonderful 6.4 Nights and Weekends Full Stack Web class. I'd like to give a huge thank you to everyone in the audience tonight for coming out and supporting our class. As you can see, we have a wonderful evening planned, and although we are remote, I'd like to encourage everybody to help make this event feel as alive as possible. If something pleases you, excites you, please feel free to unmute and applaud and cheer so that we can all share in your energy. With that, yes, thank you, Daphne. All right. With that, to start things off, I'd like to introduce the man that needs no introduction. Please put your hands together for Pursuit's CEO and co-founder, Juke, everybody.
Woo! Woo!
Thanks so much, Corey, and thanks so much, everyone, for being here. I'm so excited to participate here tonight and just being part of this. You know, it's such a special year and kind of time, and I'm so proud and excited to see all the products that all the fellows have been working on, and I hope you are excited for tonight also. To kind of kick it off, you know, just want to kind of give some context on this journey and what this all means. 12 months ago, our web developers came into the Pursuit Fellowship with little or no coding experience. But I think what unites all of our fellows and really the larger Pursuit community is that they all had some fundamental characteristics to success, you know, grit, passion, and determination. And I think they've really been able to demonstrate these qualities in their ability to master the fundamentals of web development, which you'll really see here tonight. Excuse me. But also just an incredible journey of this past 6 months and past year with you know, this change of us all going online with COVID-19 and, you know, just this change in the world and kind of this learning environment, everything that's happening in our lives of everyone getting to here. And it's really incredible to see how far everyone has come. And today, our fellows will be presenting their websites. It's a really important milestone in their journeys to become professional software developers. So I'm really excited. Let's give them all a big round of applause for all the hard work that they've put together these past 12 months and in the past month to really create these products here tonight.
Woo!
Awesome. Before we get started, I just want to talk a little bit more about Pursuit. Our mission here at Pursuit is simple. We're working to create transformation where it's needed most and enable equality of opportunity in a more prosperous society for everyone. We do this by identifying and training adults, our fellows who have, you know, high need and the highest potential to become professional software engineers. We do this by working with our fellows and helping people achieve their dreams of launching a career in technology. And we believe this transformation is life-changing. Our fellows come to our program, making an average $18,000 a year, and after completing core and getting a job, they earn on average $85,000 a year. You know, our fellows come to our program from all different backgrounds, you know, whether they're working as, you know, Uber drivers in the past, working as teachers, working in hospitality, all sorts of careers. But what's really special is that when they leave, no matter where they come from, that doesn't matter. They work at some of the best companies, most innovative companies here in New York and across the world. You know, our fellows work at over 150 companies, including some of the leading companies in the world, as you see here. You know, we're hopeful that they're going to become, this is just the beginning, become leaders in the company, starting their own companies, 3, 5, 10 years down the line. And we're hopeful that we're going to work with them so they become leaders in tech as well. This is so incredibly important. So we're really proud of that. We're committed to serving our community because we believe that everyone, regardless of background, should have the opportunity to succeed and thrive. We're proud that cohort reflects the diversity here in New York City, and that's really valuable once our fellows are working at companies to bring their perspectives, I think particularly in this time in our country, so that we can create an additive to the products that are being created at companies and in creating the world that we want to see. I think our commitment now is more important than ever. Tech is a huge and growing industry that has created more wealth, more jobs, and more companies than ever before, but not everyone is sharing these opportunities. Nearly 40% of families here in New York struggle to meet one basic need, whether it's food, housing, or healthcare. Right here in New York, almost 2 million New Yorkers live in poverty, and we are seeing that exacerbated during this time. If you've never graduated from college in New York City, your average lifetime income is $27,000 a year, or close to the poverty line. And these gaps are being exacerbated. We believe there's talent from all backgrounds, and that's why I'm so committed. I know our whole team, our larger community, is so committed to this work that we're doing because we think their pathways help our community achieve their full potential and create change in this world. But our work doesn't stop here. If you go to the next slide, if we want to create transformation for more people, we need to create new ways to create this change as well. We have amazing philanthropic donors to serve those in need here in New York City. But unfortunately, that's not enough funding for us to do what we're doing here in New York to grow our program and also expand this other places. That's why we've created an innovative financial structure called Pursuit Bond. And through this, we raise money from impact investors to finance and scale our programs. And our fellows receive training for no upfront costs, and no loans, no debt. But once our fellows graduate and get jobs, well-paid jobs, they pay a percentage of their income to Pursuit. Pursuit, in turn, is able to pay back this bond, and if our fellows get no jobs, they pay nothing. That means Pursuit has skin in the game. We want to transfer the risk from, instead of our fellows borrowing money, Pursuit takes on that risk, and we're accountable for results and working in conjunction as a community to try to create great outcomes. The bond only works if we're effective in doing our jobs, and it only works if our fellows make a permanent long-term change in their careers. I want to take a moment and thank all the fantastic supporters and donors that we have to make our programming possible. We're really fortunate to work with some of the best organizations across business, philanthropy, and technology who believe in our mission, who believe in our fellows. That's why they're donating to this cause. And really want to thank them for the continued support. So can we give them a round of applause for this as well, for making everything that we're doing possible as well?
Yes.
Great, thank you so much. The 22 fellows presenting here tonight are on their path to become professional software developers. We're committed to their success and empowering them on their journey, no matter what the journey and how it unfolds. Soon, they're going to join our larger community of advanced fellows and alumni, hundreds of engineers who continue to give back, who blaze a pathway for their jobs, and continue to make impact after they are advanced fellows or leave Pursuit, but are part of our larger community. We're so proud that we've had many alumni as instructors and involved as volunteers in our program, and many of them are here tonight as well. So let's give it applause for them in our broader community. Their work is so important, and their engagement in our community is so important and so critical to what we're doing.
Yeah.
Thank you. And with that, I'd like to turn it over and introduce Caroline O, our VP of Business Operations, and filling in for Tali for the program right now, who can tell you more about the fellowship.
Hi, good evening. I am so thrilled to bring on our fellows to present their amazing websites. But before we get started, I'd like to share a little bit more about the journey that these 22 fellows have been with us on since September. So Pursuit is not a short-term boot camp. As GK mentioned, our perspective and vision is long-term, and that's because we aim for true transformation. And so our program vision is an intensive 2-step 4-year journey, and that focuses on really fueling not just the initial success, but the continued success of our fellows. So for us, it's not just about giving out certificates of completion or only about helping our fellows get their first jobs. It's actually about helping them build careers over the long term. So our program starts with Pursuit Core, an intensive 12-month training program that our fellows have now are at the end of, that provides the technical mastery, professional skills, and industry fluency needed to become a professional software developer. Next, in Pursuit Advance, it's designed as a 36-month of support and service that reflects, again, our deep commitment to giving our fellows not only the tools to succeed as developers, but also to succeed in their careers. So nearly a year ago, we received more than 1,100 applications for the Pursuit Core 6.0 cohort. And our applicants came in for on-site interviews with volunteers from the tech and professional communities. These folks are vetted really by the industry. And they came back for a 2-day JavaScript workshop, very challenging. And through that intense process, we selected a phenomenal group of 138 fellows for our 6.0 cohort. And you will hear from 22 of those today. And as you will see, we've really done a great job, I think, of selecting the best. So we selected fellows with the highest need and potential who have the grit, the passion for technology, and the drive to succeed. And these individuals really embody the values of Pursuit. We believed that they would be not only exceptional programmers, but also leaders in the community. And so you'll see tonight, again, what they've accomplished. And over the last 12 months, they've built a community that is welcoming, supportive, and most importantly, empowering. Particularly in these last few months, the power of that community in midst of a virtual world has been really, really important. And we're so thankful and proud of the community that we have here. And whether that's learning how to whiteboard, sharing advice on networking, working together on these projects, they have supported each other every step of the way. So our fellows have completed an intensive immersion in the fundamentals of software development, and they spent the last 10 weeks building their capstone projects. These projects began as ideas, and now they are working, functioning websites, but their journey is far from over. After Technical Showcase, they'll move on to embarking on their job searches, preparing for technical interviews, building their individual passion projects. And like I said earlier, the fellows of 6.4 have really supported each other every step of the way. So want to address the fellows as you look for your jobs and start careers in different companies. I know you'll continue to have each other's backs, and I'm so incredibly proud of all that you have accomplished and all that you will accomplish in the future as developers in the tech industry. Just applaud our fellows for everything. So to tell you more about the projects that are going to be presented tonight, I'll turn it back over to our web instructor and MC, Corey.
Thank you, Caroline. So what is Capstone? Well, I'm super glad you asked. The projects you are about to see, as Caroline mentioned, started as just an idea only 10 weeks ago. From then till now, our fellows have worked tirelessly in small groups to build that idea into a living, breathing, deployed website that has the potential to attract real users. Because this project demonstrates such a high level of creativity and the professional and technical skills that our fellows have mastered over the past 12 months, the Capstone Project will serve as a critical component to their job portfolio. The following list includes the baseline requirements that were given to each Capstone team. As you will see tonight, not only did our fellows meet these requirements, many of them went above and beyond to exceed our expectations. And these are the logos of our team tonight. So what is the technical showcase? Well, I mean, you're here, right? And I'm glad you asked that too. This is the big show, right? This is where our fellows get to show off everything that they've learned throughout the program. And while you're watching, we'd love for you to just enjoy the presentations, enjoy yourself, be swept up in the moment, and share the same excitement and energy that we have. Later on in the evening, after the presentations, there will be time to ask each of the groups questions. And during that time, we will also be asking for your feedback on each group's project so that each team can continue to grow and learn. But right before we get started, we'd like to take a moment to give special thanks to all the 6.4 technical and design mentors. These are people that volunteered their time to meet with our fellows on different days, different hours, and to help by offering their valuable guidance to the teams. So a thank you to Josh, Rui, Gary, Igor, Joey, Angelica, and our design mentors, Merritt, Sonia, and Sarah. Please join me, everybody, in thanking all of our mentors.
Woo.
Awesome. Okay, so are we ready? I can't hear anybody. Are we ready?
Yeah.
No.
Introducing tonight's lineup. Put your hands together for our very first team, Rody, everybody.
Woo.
Go,
Rowdy!
One moment, please. All right. Everyone can see the screen, right? Thumbs up. All right. Thank you so much.
Sorry, I was on mute. Good evening, everyone. My name is Ashia Manning, and in an elementary school class, I built and programmed an original Mac computer from scratch. I was open to exploring this further. However, the lack of access in my later educational years prevented me from doing so. I felt as an African-American woman, I really couldn't find myself seeable in this career. It wasn't until I found Pursuit that I really found a home in technology. Currently, I'm an art instructor for an after-school program, but I'm looking to make the switch to a full-stack developer, either for a startup of my own, fusing music and technology, or working in cybersecurity.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Henry Nunez, and I am a software developer with a background in exercise science. Before starting my journey at Pursuit, I was a soccer coach. As a coach, I was surprised by how much technology was incorporated into my everyday life, from analyzing game statistics to just sending a notification to the parents and players for the time and location of the next game. Originally, I wanted to get into health tech, but with Pursuit, I found that my true passion was with helping my community, which is why I am pursuing a career in civic tech.
Good evening. My name is Kevin Wong, and I'm also a software developer. After graduating with an undergrad degree at Queens College, I decided to work as an IT support assistant, gaining a lot of experience in the IT field. It was here that I realized that I had a true passion for coding, and that's why I want to change my career path to working in software development. Shortly after this, I applied to Pursuit so that it could help me accomplish my dreams of becoming a software developer.
Hey everyone, my name is Marvin Thompson, and I'm a musician from Queens. I was introduced to tech a while ago from my girlfriend who encouraged me to give the industry a try. I was a recent graduate of John Jay College, but I was looking for a career that merged both innovation and creativity, so tech ended up becoming the perfect fit. I'm hoping to one day become able to merge both my love of music and my love of technology to push both industries forward. And all together, we are Roadie, the all-in-one booking and event managing application for musicians and clients. And welcome to the demo. So let's talk about the problem. Well, the problem is that the music industry is a vast and dynamic atmosphere that creatives strive to flourish in. However, oftentimes it is proven to become inaccessible to newcomers and beginners who are looking to make a name for themselves.
Some of the problems include that there are too many outside parties involved in the negotiation affairs. There's no existing roadmap for musicians to book or plan effectively, and there is no standalone application to handle booking or event management.
Our solution is Roadie, the all-in-one booking and event managing application designed to remove middleman of bookings. On our application, our artists and clients will be able to create their own profiles. Our clients will be able to create events, request artists, and display their events. And for our artists, they will be able to accept and display upcoming shows.
So now we're going to move on to a live demo of the website where we're going to talk through an experience from a client named Amanda and an artist named Anthony.
Okay, Amanda is an organizer for a festival being held at the Knitting Factory in Brooklyn. Her business partner recommended trying out Roadie to find new talent. She created a profile and updated it with some upcoming events and a brief information about herself. There we see that she has a couple events. We're gonna look into Bachata Night at the Knitting Factory, where she's now going to try and book an artist for this event. So we're gonna go into the homepage. There you see a search feature where if we click on artists, we're gonna get a general populated result of all the artists who are currently using the Roadie app. There we see all the different types of artists and the different types of genres that these artists perform. But we're looking for a specific type of artist and a specific type of genre. So we're gonna look into Anthony Santos, the bachata artist. So we click into Anthony Santos' profile, and there we see Anthony Santos' profile image and a brief information about himself. There we see where he's from, his contact information, and a brief bio about him. We also see that Anthony Santos has an album and a video portfolio. We're gonna click on the video portfolio to see what type of performances he has done. We see all the videos that he has shared, and we're gonna click on the first video. What an experience. There we see a video pop up, and we're gonna click play. Okay, it seems like Amanda likes what she sees. So we're now gonna book Anthony Santos for the Bachata Night at the Knitting Factory. You see the book me button, and we're gonna click on it. As we click on it, we see a book me form. We're gonna click on Bachata Night, and we're gonna fill in the form. As soon as we fill up the form, we enter some brief information. We're gonna click the book me button. There, we see that a booking request has been sent to Anthony Santos.
Anthony is a guitar player looking for weekend gigs wherever he can find them. A while back, a friend told him of the app named Roadie, so he decided to create an artist profile. After logging in today, he noticed that he had some notifications, so he decided to go click the bell icon and go check them out. Here, he notices that he has a request coming in from a client named Amanda, who wants him to play that Bachata Night at Knitting Factory. At the center, he sees that there are some event details, the name, the address, the city, and he goes, you know what, we're gonna play that event. So he's gonna accept that. In the event acceptance modal that drops down, he can write a small description about the event, as well as leave some contact information for the client. After hitting that accept button, if he goes back to his profile, you would actually see that that show has been added under a section called upcoming shows. So now that we've walked you through the Roadie experience, let's talk about what's next for the application, as well as some stretch features. So what's next?
One future implementation that we're looking to implement is a chat feature or video chat between our clients and artists. In today's difficult environment, we would like to see our artists and clients communicate directly through instant messaging or maybe see each other face to face on the camera. We also want to implement a real money or a pricing system for the service being exchanged between our clients and artists.
Alongside of this, we would also like to implement a client artist review system so that clients and artists can provide feedback on each other. This will create a system where new users to our web app can see who is reliable and who is trustworthy. We would also like to implement client capability to add a venue in case our app API doesn't currently have it. Lastly, we're considering a badges system or a system that basically gives accomplishments to members of our app. For example, crowd favorite.
We'd like to give a special thank you to our Pursuit instructors, Corey, Caroline, Jenya, and John, our tech mentor, Rui, our design mentor, Sarah and Barrett, and the rest of our Pursuit staff and fellows. We are Rody. Thank you so much for your time.
Howdy.
Going first was hard, but you guys did a great job.
All right. Thank you so much, Brody. As a former musician myself, I can't wait to get on the platform and start getting, get the side hustle going. And coming up next, let's put your hands together for AfroLink, everybody. AfroLink.
Woo! Yay! Woo! Do it.
Good evening, everybody. We're AfroLink. My name is Kevin. However, you guys have already met another Kevin tonight, so I simply go by Brutus. Previously, I was a housing specialist for the homeless, and I assisted my clients by assessing their needs and finding solutions to their housing problems. In my job, I ran into many faulty web applications that not only frustrated me, but my peers as well. And I looked into programs that would teach me to build applications that would be easier on everyday users like myself. In my journey, I found Pursuit, where I spent my nights and weekends intensively learning software development. And although I love being a housing specialist, I am proud of what I've accomplished these past 12 months. And I look forward to helping you all and service as a software developer in civic tech.
Yes, hello guys, my name is Kong Song Yang. My friend call me Kong, nickname from King Kong. I come from a non-tech background. I was a foreclosure paralegal for years. It is a lovely job, but it did not suit me. So I decided to become a web developer. I'm so glad to join Pursuit. And I love to help people with their day-to-day problem. And I'm a veteran Pokemon Go fan, and I love street food from all around the world.
Hi, everyone. My name is Maria Martinez. I graduated from NYU with a degree in film and animation in 2006. And that same week that I graduated, I became a mom. Thereafter, I worked as a cook throughout New York City to support my new family. I worked as a short order cook, I worked as a baker, and finally as a chocolatier. And I had loads of fun, but towards the end, I began to feel unfulfilled for lack of growth in my career. This is when I decided to join Pursuit and get back to the kind of creative, challenging, and exciting career that I've always wanted, where my success is measured by how much I learn and grow. I'm excited to combine my love for learning and technology by finding creative ways to solve problems in programming. Also, our fourth member, Crystal Cardona, couldn't be with us tonight, but we will be displaying a lot of her work throughout the app. So, when we are AfroLink. So what is the problem? Considering the current social climate, the Black community has been driven to invest in money Excel by choosing to shop Black-owned. New York City is home to so many Black-owned businesses that could use the help of the community, especially during these times with COVID. As of now, there aren't many apps that can connect people directly to Black-owned businesses, especially more obscure businesses that they might not know are closer than they. While doing a Google search gives results for Black-owned businesses, the results are often scattered and hard to organize. What if a user wants to get valuable information all at once? And as a business owner, where do I advertise to my community? How does my business get visibility within the community? AfroLink has a solution for the user who is looking for a simple and efficient way to locate Black-owned businesses that they might never know about from Google or Yelp, and at the same time, give back to the Black community.
Yes, in AfroLink, we are bringing authentic Black-owned business to the community. The customer can able to find business with Google geolocation to get direction if the business has a physical location. The customer can leave a review, rating. Of course, the business owner can respond to the customer review by creating an account in AfroLink. And they can update their business profile and upload image for future advertisement. And let's go do a web app walkthrough.
So as you arrive on AfroLink's landing page, you're welcome to a carousel of business owners supporting their own business, and underneath you will see a link to their About Me pages. As we continue to explore AfroLink, you'll see that you now have access to our search feature where you could search for a business by a category. At this time, we have 9. Further down our site, you will now see the feature where you can, as a business owner, sign up with AfroLink. And we decided that our mission is very important, so we made it very accessible to our users as well by including it on our first page. And you have access to different resources which you can explore at your own time. As we continue to go back up the page, Maria would like to go through what it is like to search for Black-owned business on AfroLink.
Okay, so if we go to the Search Black-owned businesses section, we can see that we have all the categories in which we have authentic Black-owned businesses currently stored in our database. Today we'll be exploring Gifts and Beyond because I've heard of this great place called the Bougie Box from Instagram that I'm dying to check out. And here we will see all of the actual Black-owned businesses that we have in our database under the Gifts and Beyond category. And here's the Bougie Box. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on this one. And we are taken to the Bougie Box profile page where we can see lots of information regarding this particular store. Because it's an online store, we don't get the Google Maps showing at the bottom. However, if it was a physical location, we would get directions from where we are to the Bougie Box. And here we have contact information. And on the right-hand side, we have a review section where we can communicate directly with the store owner. I'm gonna go ahead and leave a review because I'm super excited to check this out. I've heard so many good things. And I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 5 stars. Press submit, and you'll see my review is down here at the bottom. So I'm gonna go ahead and log out. I'm sorry, actually head to our homepage where Brutus will talk us through the business owner section of our website.
As previously mentioned, our businesses can sign up, but at this time and for demo purposes, we're actually just going to sign in using the button in the corner. Because I'm close to the business owner of the Bougie Box, they were kind enough to give me their login. As you can see, we're just having a bit of technical difficulties, but we'll definitely get inside where you're welcome to our business profile page. On the business profile page, it contains the same information that is on the normal business page, except it's more curated for our business owners, where you see they can either edit their business or visit their business page so they're familiar what it looks like to their consumer. At this time, we see that there is no social media for the Bougie Box, so we'll just go ahead and add that. So the website is the same as the social media, so we'll just use the same information. That means our consumers get double the chance of actually consuming this product. Now this information is available, and we can also see it as well on when we visit the business page. On the business page, you now see that you have a link to the social media for the Bougie Box, and you see that you do have reviews where you can leave a reply. We see that we have a new reply from Maria, who's super excited to shop from the Bougie Box, so we'll kindly reply, thank you. I guess I'm so flustered, I can't spell you right. If you click the reply here again, you'll see that the reply would disappear. And if we log out, you'll see that there is no longer the option for business to reply. We believe that's important to share our site. So at the bottom of our site, we give you links to social media, where if you click on one, it will share it to whatever application of your choosing. If we could return to our presentation, I'd now like to talk to you guys about our technical milestones. Building AfroLink was certainly not an easy feat. And the ideation process, we discovered that not many APIs contain Black-owned businesses, so it was difficult to share that information with you all. We had to do so from scratch, which we did. Maria and Kong were able to scrape web articles, finding the titles of Black-owned businesses, and compound that into an Excel document, which we later converted into code. A second thing that we had problems trying to solve was the business owner portal. Because we had to build everything from scratch, we definitely spent a lot of time trying to connect appropriate information and giving business owners the ability and opportunity to share and have as much of the experience as a user.
Yes, so for the future implementations, we like to host our API to public so other developers can receive Black-owned business in New York City area. And we want to set up like identification for the user, the customer, to log in to see the past review and the owner response. And we want to increase 200 more business in our API because like every day, these more Black business come up. And lastly, we want to enable full-scale mobile use in our application. Right now, it's like 90% done, but we want to make that into 100.
And finally, we want to thank everyone for all of your love and support along the way. Thank you so much to Pursuit, the Pursuit staff, Corey, Caroline Kang, Caroline O, Tali, Juke, and Jimmy, the class 6.4. Thank you so much, everyone. To our Google mentors, Rob, Stephen, and Blair, and our AfroLink mentors, Eagle, Merritt, and Sonia. Thank you so much, everyone.
That was awesome. And I'm also looking for a gift from my wife's birthday, so I'm definitely going to check out the bougie box. Coming up next, let's hear it for Trip Hikers. Trip Hikers, here we go.
Woo!
Hello, everyone. We're Trip Hikers. I am Isaiah Colazo. I'm currently working at Duane Reade, but for as long as I can remember, I've wanted to work in the tech field. I used to write ideas for games out in elementary school. And as I got older, I continued down that path where I studied for 2 years at Rochester Institute of Technology before finding my home here at Pursuit. Now I'm able to continue my childhood dream and get that job as an engineer.
Hi, my name is Tihan Bezi. I'm economist, but when I try to apply for a job, most places require that I know programming language. My son was also learning coding at the time as third grader. He told me that he wanted to become a software engineer. I was inspired by him and found Pursuit. Now I can find my dream job. Not only I can work as data analyst, but I can create apps as well. I can guide my son with his career.
Hello, everyone. I'm Giovanni Luna and currently a lead concierge. I've always been interested in tech, but I didn't understand how it worked. My friend introduced me to Pursuit and figured I would be a great fit. It's been a long journey, and now I'm applying and creating full stack web applications. I'm inspired to work on projects that will be used by many, benefit the world, and I'm grateful for this opportunity. The problem. Think about a time when you wanted to travel, but no one to go with. Or when a friend canceled on your trip after you already booked your flight. It makes you want to cancel, right? We want to wander and venture the world, but not alone. The question is, how do we meet people like us on a global scale? Sometimes we just need someone to push us to go on that epic journey, on that dream vacation. At Trip Hikers, we want to create those memories, make new friendships. We want to help users create stories. And we are proud to present our solution. Trip Hikers. Trip Hikers allows users from all walks of life the ability to travel and meet other like-minded people. Whether you want to backpack through the countries of Europe or take a road trip from New York to California, Trip Hikers will connect people who want to travel together. You can join groups for an upcoming trip or meet with locals to explore. We are confident that with Trip Hikers, the world is truly your oyster.
So we'll be demoing our application for you guys today. When you visit our site, you're taken to our landing page where you can search for cities around the world or find out why Trip Hikers is the best place to find your travel buddies. You have the option to create an account if you aren't signed up, but for the purposes of the demo, Giovanni will be logging into his own account. After you've logged in or signed up, you're taken to our feed page where you can see all of our upcoming trips by all of our users. Each of these cards is a condensed set of information for each trip. If one catches your eye, you can click on it and see a more detailed version. Here, you can see more information on the trip and all the people that are traveling on there. Now, if you've already visited a location, you can go to our city search feature.
From city search, we can literally travel the world. Today, I'm feeling France. Did you know that Paris is the second most visited city in the world after Bangkok? Let's travel there. From our locations page, we will be able to see quick snippets of information that we think are useful for the user, such as coronavirus updates, currency converter, and weather. Below, we have our hotspots map. This feature is a community-driven map where we encourage users to post pictures of places they think people should visit. The more hotspots, the more fire you'll have. You want to go check it out. There's a few hotspots over here, so let's go see. So I'm going to zoom in on our Google Maps. And I see there's a few over here. If I click, I see a picture from the top of the Eiffel Tower. If I click again, I even have a close-up. I actually have a picture from Paris last year, so let's go post that. So we would want to locate on Google Maps where we want to post this. I'm thinking of posting at the Louvre. Yeah, we're going to write a quick title, a brief description, and let's find the photo. I think this one will do great. And when we hit submit, we'll be able to see that posted live will have a hotspot where all users across the world will be able to see and like my photo. So here I am. But I think I forgot something in my profile. Let's go check it out.
When you go to Giovanni's profile, you will be seeing Giovanni's upcoming and past trip. Giovanni wants to update his profile. He will go to edit profile and he's going to add a social media. So he will add his Instagram. Let's go to profile and we see the icon. Feel free to follow him on his Instagram. Let's check his friends. Oh, wow. He has a lot. Let's see if he has a new friend request. We will add the Sarah and see his friend has updated. Sarah is now his friend. Giovanni has current trip. Let's see if there is any request to join his trip. Wow, he has a 5 requests. Has anyone sent him a message? Oh, Isaiah sent him a message. No, Giovanni will chat with Isaiah live. He will now accept his Isaiah's request. Giovanni is now ready to finalize his trip.
And that is our application. So technical milestones. Live messages. We faced several challenges when creating live messages. One of the most prominent challenges we faced was creating it from scratch. We combine both asynchronous and synchronous functions to work hand in hand to retrieve our users' data and posting it live in our online database. We later fetch this information from Firebase on a live-changing basis. Each user has chats unique to them with a unique chat ID that references both their profile and the other user that they're chatting with.
The Google Map API also allows us to use a custom image for markers instead of default red one. So we create our own fire icon to identify our hotspot location. The biggest challenge with this was a live updating the map for the location where the new hotspot is submitted. We are waiting for submission for the user and refetching the hotspot from our database to check for any changes and updating the new location in.
There are always going to be new ways we think of to improve Trip Hikers. We currently have 4 main features we would like to implement in the near future. A translation feature that translates all the text on our site to whichever language the user prefers. A way to transfer hosts, so if the original planner of a trip decides to no longer be a part of it, a new user can take over instead of it being deleted. A button on the user profile that allows you to message them directly. And a matching algorithm that pairs similar travelers together based on their answers to a travel preference questionnaire. Thank you to our mentors, Josh and Sarah, and our instructor, Corey, and our program manager, Caroline, for helping us and supporting us through our capstone project.
And we are Trip Hikers. Thank you for your time.
Trip Hikers.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. That was very cool. I'm definitely gonna use that on my next trip. I've got to make some friends, and this would be a great way to do it. All right, coming up next. Hey, Timmy. Let's do the Timmy, everybody.
Woo! Woo! Woo!
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Brandon. I'm a junior full stack web developer based in Brooklyn. I attended Buffalo State College where I studied computer information systems. That is where I was first introduced into coding, and ever since I knew it was the right path for me. After college, I got into Pursuit, and I'm able to stay active in my coding interests through attending this program. And I'm currently building my skills in order to be a professional front-end web developer.
Hi everyone, my name is Doug. Coming out of college, I worked for a sports startup company. We created software for sports organizations and we hosted events at NBA arenas. I then transitioned over to my current position as an assistant manager at Amazon. Being on multi-scale companies, I saw how technology really drives the next innovation of problems. So using what I've learned at Pursuit, I hope to be part of the next innovation of solutions and push the boundaries for the Latinx community.
Hi, everyone. My name is Rafid Hossein. I work at Bank of America and I help small businesses get their loans forgiven from the loans that they took out during the coronavirus. After graduating from the University of Buffalo, I spent 3 years helping clients with their financial and banking needs. I wanted to learn more about technology because banks are transitioning into a more technological and a digital era. And I wanted to make myself more familiar with that culture. During the last year, I've spent the year at Pursuit learning to be a full stack web developer. I believe a website helps a client's story, and I want to tell my client's story as best as I can. During my free time, I play chess and I go hiking. Chess is a sport that helps me think several moves ahead in the game as well as in life. And I love going hiking because it helps me de-stress and just go to a very calm and serene environment.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jay. I'm currently a commercial real estate research analyst with Moody's Analytics and a lifelong techie. I built my first computer with my dad when I was 8, and I've had the tech bug ever since. I've always had a love of hardware, and after discovering Pursuit, I decided to take a crack at software as well. Since starting my journey, I learned about the field of civic tech and realized that I can now merge my love of social activism with my love of technology. And we are Tinny.
So our problem is that we realize that the common annoyance when it comes to planning a trip is the overwhelming struggle of having multiple tabs open and switching back and forth. Whether you're on Yelp or OpenTable or Google Maps, you're gonna have several tabs open. And what that's gonna do is it's just gonna create a lot of overload on your part, which is eventually gonna go into stress. So what is our solution for this? Our team likes to run by the quote, run your day, don't let the day run you. So there we have Tinny. So Tinny is our well-crafted itinerary app. With the power of Yelp's API, we can create an itinerary based off looking at different events and restaurants available in our location. With our interactive map, we're able to search locations that are nearby your area, as well as add itineraries directly from the map. Our app lets users schedule specific times from their trips and even modifying the time if they need to based off their day. Last but not least, our app also allows us to send your itinerary to your friends and families if this is an itinerary that you enjoyed and you want your friends and families to have this great day as you. So now Doug, Brandon, and myself, we will show you, and Jay, we will show the features of this app.
So for the demo, I'm gonna be Chandler and I wanna go out with my friends. So as I can see that the splash page contains a quick search bar and I can see how it works. Search for destinations to add to your itinerary, customize the time, date, name your itinerary, save and share. Perfect. I also see trending topics, burgers, parks, and salsa. I know that I don't necessarily have to be signed in. I could just start making an itinerary. But there are features and we do encourage everybody to be part of this Tinny community. So I'm quickly able to log in using either Google or Facebook or sign up the same way. So for demo purposes, I'm gonna log in with my Google account. I could see how quickly it is with the pop-up and not just wait for the Google to pop up. And then I should be able to log in using my email. I'm logged in and I'm redirected. So now let's start building. I see that I have no itinerary, so I can easily click, create a new itinerary or search. So I'm feeling kind of bougie, so I wanna go get some coffee at the Plaza. And that's somewhere in Manhattan. So let's search there. When I click search, we're navigated over to our itinerary builder. I could see that there's a few options, the Plaza Food Hall, the regular Plaza, and so on. I think I'm gonna click the first one. And prior to me adding, I have to tell the itinerary builder how long I'm gonna stay. I'm probably gonna stay an hour. And I could see that it's been added to my itinerary. I think I'm gonna spend some time with my friend Ross at the Museum of Natural History. So let's see, 1 p.m. I could click down for more information. And since it's open until 5 every day, I could quickly add that as well. Actually, I don't like talking to him about history that much, so I might spend just 10 minutes over there. I can also use our map to add items. So I'm gonna add attractions in Central Park. Obviously, we can't forget about Central Park. Let's see what kind of attractions we have at Central Park. So we have Belvedere Castle, Shakespeare at the Park, or I can use my map to also hover over the search functions. So it looks like Shakespeare at the Garden. Shakespeare Garden seems kind of fun. I'm gonna add that to our itinerary as well. Some other features are being able to delete an item, being able to drag and drop, and being able to save the itinerary. I'm also gonna just share my itinerary and I'm gonna put Regina Phalange. Oh, this is my name. So I'm gonna put Chandler. Chandler, and I'm gonna put my email. And because it's time for me to go, I'm gonna just check to see whether or not the message was sent to me. And it looks like I got a copy of my itinerary ready to go with links and everything. Wow, that was easy.
Now we would like to discuss some of our technical milestones. One of our biggest hurdles was using the Google Maps API. Google Maps is extremely robust, as anybody who has used Google Maps must know. And a big challenge was paring down all of that functionality and only distilling the things that we needed. The great part of that is as we scale our app forward and add more inventory, Google Maps will grow with us, allowing us to do things like add marker groups, polylines, and other polygons. Speaking about scalability, we also designed our app purposefully to use shared components so that as we scale forward, we don't have to blow up our darling baby Tinny and start over to add new functionality for you all. And now I'll hand it off to Brandon so he can tell you what's coming up next.
So for some future implementations, we would like to utilize the OpenTable API to make our users able to make reservations through our application. We would also like our application to be accessible through mobile phones, so creating a mobile app for it. And we would also like to create a Chrome extension that while people are searching on the many search browsers that they have, they are able to add places that they come across with our Chrome extension to their itinerary. And I will just say our quote, which is run your day.
Run your day, don't let it run you.
Run you. And a special and huge thank you to Corey, Caroline, Angelica, Merritt, Sarah, Jimmy, and the rest of the Pursue staff. And our rubber duckies. Can't forget that.
We are Tinny. Thank you guys so much for giving us the time. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
Today.
Woo! Amazing.
That was awesome. With all those friends I make from trip hikers, now I can plan things with those friends. All right, so coming up next, they're saving pets. Please put your hands together for Zuvio, everybody.
Woo! Woo! Zuvio!
Good evening, everybody. My name is Samantha Jimenez, and I am currently a secretary at an elementary school in South Williamsburg. I originally went to college for accounting, but decided to take some time to find a career path I was more passionate about. After extensive research, I discovered that software engineering was a field that combined the analytical skills I've developed so far in my career with my desire to build and create. With that being said, I hope to begin my tech journey at a media company.
Hey, I'm Udwakabasi Abasura, but I also go by D. Before Pursue, I was a case manager working with the mental health population. After graduating with a bachelor's in criminal justice, I realized that there were so many different paths that I could take to get to my dream field. After taking a few computer science courses and getting to experience hackathon as a newcomer, I realized that software engineering was a way for me to seamlessly help support the intelligence community address national risks. Tech also allows me to explore my love of art and design through the creation of user interface and experience. As a result, my goal is to mesh these interests together and build my career around civic tech.
Hi, my name is Danny, and I'm an audio engineer turned software developer. For as long as I can remember, I've always had two passions, that's music and technology. Eventually, I went on to pursue a career as an audio engineer in music, and during my career, I was awarded with the opportunity to travel internationally and work with artists known and unknown. Now, as a developer, I would like to utilize my technical skills and my creativity obtained from my music background to be able to produce innovative solutions for some of the toughest problems that we face today.
Hello all, it's a pleasure to be here. I'm Oido Rahman.
I received my bachelor's in computer engineering, and I'm currently a mobility engineer at Medtel. I configure and deploy devices to companies so they can function properly on a day-to-day basis. However, I was drawn to software engineering because I believed it to be one, more flexible, and two, creative than its hardware counterpart. I'm looking forward to continuing and strengthening my journey as a developer to express one, my creativity, and two, and help businesses grow. So without any further ado, I'd like to hand it off to my colleague, Samantha Jimenez.
Okay, so the problem. Maintaining pets' information, tasks, and appointments is a hassle, especially in multi-animal or exotic pet households. Also, finding local vets can be difficult, particularly if you're new to a neighborhood and especially with the social distancing protocols of today. So what can we do?
Zuvio, take care of your pets from anywhere. Users will be able to create multiple profiles for their pets, which will be essential in multi-pet households. Users will be able to create tasks and view them on a monthly calendar. Users will also have the ability to search for veterinarians in their neighborhood or current location. And with current COVID restrictions still in place, users will be able to instant message vets with any concerns that they have, as well as scheduling virtual appointments. Now, let's take a look at Zuvio.
Okay, so I am a user opening the Zuvio app for the day. I begin here in the splash page where I can see what functions the app provides. Users can sign up or log in. So today I'll be using the demo login. From there, I can view the task schedule for today or create a new one. I can either create a task from scratch or I can choose one from this pre-populated task list. So I'm going to choose by food for my dog Nova for later this evening. All right, success. So now I can see this event on my homepage, which is great. So I'm gonna head over to the calendar feature so I can see what else I have planned for this month. All right, so I see that there is an event on the 24th. Let's see what it is. All right, so Nova has an appointment with the groomers later this month. Perfect. So I recently adopted a cat and I want to be able to add her to my pets list where I'm also able to see the pets I already have. So I'm going to add her to my list. I'm going to upload a cute photo. All right, I'm gonna put her name, Kitty. And her birthday. Awesome, so I should now see her on my list. Perfect. Now, as a new addition to my family, I wanna make sure she is in great health. So I'm gonna go to the search feature and I'm going to select veterinarian from the drop-down menu and input my zip code. All right, wow. All right, look at all these options. So let's see what we have. I'm gonna look for something with high reviews. Okay, Dr. Bender's Pet Clinic. So I'm gonna contact the provider. Now, I can either reach out to this vet with original text or a pre-populated message. So I'm going to choose request virtual appointment and wait to hear back. The red indicator shows that Dr. Bender is not online currently, but oh, just logged in, perfect. Now let me see if he's gonna reply. Are you available in the next 5 minutes? Perfect, awesome. Now I'm gonna log out of the user's portal and get ready for my virtual appointment.
So while Sam is getting ready for her virtual appointment, we're gonna take you on a journey through the doctor's portal. Right away, a doctor can inquire about Zuvio services rather than signing up. This is due to security reasons and us not wanting just anyone to have access to sensitive data. For today's demo, Dr. Bender will be signing in since he has already been verified. Since Dr. Bender already has a virtual appointment set up with Sam, Dr. Bender is going to navigate right to that tab and give Sam a call.
Okay. All right. Now, look at that. I can have a video consultation through the site. As a multi-pet owner, the various functionalities of this app provides such a convenience. So now I'm going to hand it over to Ohita to discuss our team's technical milestones.
Thanks, Sam. So while creating Zuvio, we ran many milestones. One of many was Google Maps API, Firebase storage, and WebRTC for the video calling. The reason why these were milestones is because we were implementing these for the first time and had to do many research to figure out our use case for Zuvio. We asked questions, reached out to our mentors, and even watched YouTube videos. While researching these features, we came to find out that some of these features did not make it to the final production of Zuvio. For example, the Google Maps API did not reach final production, and we had to drop it, and we used Yelp instead, which became a very nice feature to have, and it was the proper use case for Zuvio. So now I'd like to hand it to Danny for the future of Zuvio.
Thanks, O. So for the future implementations of Zuvio, we would like to give the pet owners the ability to message each other, set up pet dates, and also synchronize those dates with the calendar. We would also like to add a notifications feature to notify the owners of any up and coming appointments or tasks. And last but not least, we would like to create the mobile application version of Zuvio. We would like to give a special thanks to our project mentors, Gary and Sarah, the entire Pursuit staff, Corey, Caroline, John, Jenya, everyone, and the crowd, the audience. Thank you guys for coming and joining us. Without you, this would not be possible. Thank you for being a part of our Pursuit. This is Zuvio.
Woo! Woo!
Wow.
Hey! Woo! Go, D!
Wow.
All right. So that's like a really good app scoop. Right? Let's keep it going though for We Rise, everybody. We Rise.
Woo! We Rise!
Woo! Good evening, folks. We are here to inspire change and transform communities. Together, we are We Rise, and we want to build community by sharing your knowledge and raising your skills. So I'd like to introduce the co-founding team of We Rise. I am Nova Ramon, the design lead. I'm a web developer with a background in nonprofit management. So about a year and a half ago, I made a commitment to achieving my dream of moving to New York City and pursuing a new career and personal life path. The moment had arrived to make a fundamental decision and risk transforming everything I knew. I wanted to explore new challenges and directions in my professional development and liberate the possibilities of where my life was headed. Coming to New York, I knew my journey had to be shaped by one guiding principle. Any decision I made had to realize transformational change, whether that was fighting with my communities, queer and communities of color, or supporting an organization in its mission to engineer the next breakthrough. This is what brought me to tech and to Pursuit, and why I became a software developer.
Hi, I'm Deja Flynn, former middle school STEM teacher where I taught students the fundamentals of technology. Now I'm at a point where I want to refine my knowledge. Hey, Miss Flynn, you know everything about technology. Well, I knew that there was a frontier that I've never ventured into, web development. Using technology as a tool is all I ever knew, but now I have the chance to create these tools. Pursuit helped me become a full stack web developer where I can use my educational background and dive into a new career path, creating new tools for everyone.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is John Jones, also known as Jay Jones. Currently, I'm a middle school after-school program coordinator, teaching health education. Prior to this position, I was a technology teacher, also teaching middle schools, grades 6th to 8th. I always had a passion for technology and using it to make my life a little bit easier, whether it be to engage my students in the lesson by using Kahoot, shout out to all my educators, or helping my mom catch the 7 a.m. train by using the Transit app. This is one of the reasons why I became a full stack developer, to work on projects and applications to help people all around the world make their lives easier.
2020, the entire world went remote. Remote school, remote work, and we haven't had a chance to make normal new connections that are outside of work and school, such as neighborhood building concerns, yoga dance classes, computer skill enhancement classes, volunteer-led groups to improve individuals. The conventional community centers have been put on hold. Usually society has access to community centers that create these new connections and new skills or hobbies, but due to COVID have been put on pause.
So how can we reconnect with our community? We Rise envisions building a community-driven virtual Skillshare video chat platform where we can empower folks with new skills shared through their community that can advance their lives and livelihoods. Where we want to build new virtual community spaces by sharing knowledge and know-how, and also even helping push movements forward by creating and fostering spaces for equity, mutual aid, and socioeconomic justice. How will We Rise realize this vision? So on our platform, users will be able to facilitate workshops and register for workshops on a one-on-one basis or in small groups. These are not the large-scale webinars or massive open online courses that we're more familiar with. These are more so interactive, personable workshops, like learning to protect your vocal cords when you're out protesting with a professional opera singer. With our app, users will be able to create connections based on shared interests, experiences, and destinations, and build a virtual community for themselves. Let's experience We Rise with our live demo.
All right, once you land on the We Rise web application landing page, you'll be introduced to We Rise mission and purpose of We Rise, as well as how to for our users. To engage our potential users, we have some featured upcoming workshops so that users can see what's going on our website. If you click on either one of the workshops or our how-tos, it will prompt you to our sign-up page where new users can sign up or a user can sign in. So let's check out We Rise. For demo purposes, we will be using our guest account.
So upon logging in, users are going to be directed to the hub of our app, the community dashboard. So the dashboard consists of 3 major sections. The workshop feed with a dynamic search capability, displaying all the workshops that are available for the user to register, sorted by most recently upcoming. The workshops I'm attending section, which displays a workshop that the current user is registered for. And also the recently posted workshop section, a section that displays the 5 workshops most recently posted on We Rise to keep users abreast of what's new on the app. So let's take a closer look at the workshop feed search feature. Here, users can explore the workshop feed using a robust search engine consisting of 3 components that can query for workshops independently or in combination: an input search for keywords, a date range filter, and a selection of workshop categories. So let's search for the keywords coding music. Oh, look, just what I was looking for, Corey's workshop on live coding music with Ruby. Because of course, we know how much Corey loves Ruby. Oh, but wait, this workshop's full. So you know what? Let's look for another one. Let's clear the search parameters and return to the default workshop feed so we can discover another workshop.
Once you find a workshop that you like, or even one that you love, you'll simply register for that workshop by clicking on it. So let's check out Women Know Power Tools, brought to you by Caroline Kane. So once you click on that workshop, a workshop feed card will show all the details that you need to know about that workshop. Let's begin the registration. When you begin registration, it will prompt you to message the facilitator to introduce yourself and tell them why you want to be a part of this workshop. Let's register. Registration complete. After you complete your registration, that message is sent to the facilitator both via their email address as well as our in-app instant messaging feature.
So let's navigate to our instant group messaging chat feature. As you can see upon registration, a chat was created with our guest user and Caroline, the workshop facilitator. Let's see, I wonder if Caroline's online. Oh, look, and she replied, hey, Caroline. So we can also start new group chats with up to 8 users in our chat feature because it's group messaging. And we can search for the user's email to start the chat and send a message. Also, when we select any chat, the chat view gives us ready access to the profile of the users in the chat. So let's explore their profile.
So when you come to a user's profile, it'll give you all the information that you need to know about that user, as well as their social media handling. And you can also contact them within our app. You'll also notice that it has the workshops I'm facilitating, where it can show you all the workshops that that user is facilitating, as well as their past workshops. To get to your own profile page, you'll simply navigate through to our profile using our nav bar. When you come to your profile, you'll notice it has the same information, just that now you can edit your profile as well as edit the workshops that you're facilitating. Simply click on the workshop and you'll notice it has an edit workshop button, and you can also see the participants that are registered for your workshop. Because our app is all about building community, we want it to be accessible to all users on all devices. So we made sure that our app is mobile friendly. And as you can see, our community dashboard converts into different tabs for users to cipher through our workshops. Wow, guys, would you look at the time? I think it's time for us to attend one of the workshops that we're registered for. To attend the workshop that you're registered for, simply click on the workshops in our workshops I'm attending section, where you'll see a join video chat button. That button only appears 7 days prior before the start date of our workshop. You can also cancel the registration if you can no longer make it, where it'll prompt you to message the facilitator or it will send an automated message. Let's join our video chat.
Let's get ready to vote. Woo!
Ancient city style, talk it out, travel on, battle for your life, travel long, that's gossip. What you on, money don't talk, rip that song, gossip, travel on, battle for your life, travel long, travel long. Gossip, gossip, travel long. Gossip, gossip, travel long. Gossip, gossip, travel long. Battle for your life.
And this is the We Rise experience.
Wow.
Yes.
We rise.
Ow, ow,
Woo!
So We Rise couldn't have been possible without some of the milestones and challenges that we faced. And one of the milestones that we faced was our video chat or our video conferencing feature, which was recommended to us from our mentor, Joey Shakespeare. And one of the problems that we ran into was that it just wouldn't work. We weren't able to video conference with each other. So our instructor, Corey, gave us a suggestion to go to their GitHub page and check to see under the issues if anybody faced the same problems that we did. And lo and behold, there was somebody who had the same exact problem, but with the perfect solution.
So we also definitely wanted to incorporate a feature that provided users with real-time communication. So for our instant chat messaging feature, we chose to use Firebase's Firestore Cloud database. Firestore is a NoSQL database, which meant learning new syntax to build queries and also learning how to architect the database. The main challenge I definitely hit against was pigeonholing Firestore into SQL patterns and relational models, the ones that we've learned during our fellowship. We needed to adopt denormalization, which meant duplication of data, which is a common design pattern for NoSQL databases, but a serious blunder for SQL, which that's what we were used to. But with that, we were able to create a seamless UI experience with Firestore for navigating our chat features.
And our final milestone was material design. it was multiple styling components, and everybody had to be accustomed with that large library. And keeping every page uniform was a big task. Also, diving into a very large styling to make everything seamless. So that included the chat and everything that needed to be styled, so it looks very uniform. So I'm going to continue on with the future specifications. All right, and there's several specifications, but I'm going to just highlight two. Push notifications. We are in that type of world where everybody needs to stay connected. If there's a workshop that is canceled, push notifications happen right on the spot. Content management, just to make sure everything that is going on the platform is not offensive or anything illegal.
So join WeRise and let's build communities by sharing our collective knowledge. Of course, we had so many people to thank who made this app possible. Our team mentor, Joy Shakespeare, thank you. Our design mentors, Mary and Sonia. Our industry mentors, Jason and David. And of course, our beloved pursuit mentors, Corey, Caroline, and Jimmy. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Now we can clap. This is the end of that presentation.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Rise.
I cannot wait to start signing up for that. And I'm going to share my screen again. Okay. Okay. So let's give another round of applause for all our teams tonight, all right? Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo!
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Okay, so now we're into the evening of the breakout room / Q&A portion of the evening. So the audience is going to be split up into 6 breakout rooms using the Zoom breakout room feature. So you'll be prompted to enter a new room. Once you are in that room, you will find a link in the Zoom chat to a different Zoom session. Right? We'll ask that you click on that link to go in that session, and you'll remain there until otherwise directed. Each team is going to be rotating in and out of these sessions every 10 minutes, so you'll have an opportunity to ask questions directly to those teams. And we ask during this time that you fill out feedback forms, which your Zoom session facilitator will tell you a little bit more about. But essentially, we really want honest feedback so that our teams can continue to really grow, fix, and improve. And so we're going to be looking for, implementation, functionality, system design, both front and back end, as well as any other feedback that comes to mind. And so to the fellows of 6.4 right now, I'm going to ask you to go leave and join your room. And everybody else, you should be seeing a link momentarily to invite you to a new breakout room. Thank you. Kevin.
Hey, I got a breakout room for 4. Is that the one I'm supposed to join?
Yeah, you should join that, and then you'll give them the link to your session.
Sure.
Thank you. Hey, Ben.
Yep.
Everything all right?
Yes, I had that just to make sure the room was open for the people who are starting in it.
Okay. Did you get added to the breakout room?
I did, but I might need to get re-put in there.
I am not the host, so let me get Caroline King back.
Okay. I'll ping her.
Okay. Everybody else who's here, what happened?
Yeah, but ooh, we got two of you.
I don't think I got a link.
I didn't get anything.
I didn't get it either.
Maybe the breakout rooms were made before you all joined. If you just stay here, everything will work out. This will just be a big room, or Caroline will come back and add. I don't have the Zoom power at the moment, but just hang tight while we sort this out. Thank you. Ben, do you want to just share your link?
Sure, as long as I don't know which. Hang on, I'm going to a breakout room. See y'all.
Should we pause the recording for future viewing purposes?
Maybe. I think I can.
Team We Rise. Let's screen share the application and share a quick description for the guests, and then we can open up the floor to questions. Please take it away.
So here we have, so basically We Rise is a community-driven Skillshare video chat platform. So we wanted to, when we finally decided on this idea, it took a bit. We definitely wanted it something that was community-oriented, something that fostered social justice. And so we saw, this need, especially in today's current circumstances, we saw this need for, social distancing, but still maintaining connections and building community. So we thought of, hey, why don't we do something like, like small scale, friendly workshops that people can share, and people can share, their skills or stuff that they know. And this is anything and everything. So that's We Rise in a gist. And so this is our community dashboard, as you saw during the demo. This is the main part of our app where we're showing, where users can search for workshops, register here. They can see the ones that they're already registered for, and also, a little bit like, recently posted workshops. And they can access all parts of the app from here with the nav bar as well.
Please feel free to ask the questions directly by unmuting yourself. I see you, Jenya. Or you can share the question in our chat, and then I can call or read them out. So whichever you prefer.
Hey everyone, Alexis here. Yeah, this looks amazing. Congratulations to getting it to this place. This looks so great. It looks like you packed in so much. How did you prioritize your list of features? Deja, I think you were the project manager. Was that a lot of your responsibility?
It was everybody's responsibility, honestly. We knew what we really needed for MVP, and we delegated features when we saw we didn't all just jump out the window. Oh yeah, that looks great. Let's find what works for our app, and that was what the teamwork that the sense that we had.
And also, just to jump in, I want to say one thing. Anytime that we spoke about our app with anybody, they did say that it was like a huge project, and they would give us like a side eye, like this is a lot that you guys are trying to put in that. So yeah, that's just to speak to like everything that chaotic that we went through to just try to get everything together.
Yeah, ambitious.
Yeah, I mean, at first we had a hard time kind of like, because I mean, the idea itself is great because it's simple, it's straightforward, but we knew what we wanted. I mean, the video was I mean, that's central. That was MVP. But the chat feature was a bit ambitious, but I mean, I definitely wanted to have it included, and we definitely wanted to build it out because we thought, we need to give a means for users to communicate, outside the video chat, and again, it's all about like building community, and so building connections, and that was the best way moving forward. But the video chat, we got it together, even though there were a lot of hiccups along the way, but we got several things down, and we fulfilled a lot of our priorities, so we were able to get to the chat, and we were able to get to other parts of the app to be able to create what you see before you.
I have a question. My question is, what is each of you guys' favorite feature or detail or just part of this project?
All of it now.
No, honestly, just all of it. But at the same token, the type of data that we required to be displayed for our user experience to be best and enhance the most. We're able to maneuver to different people's profile, and look at and edit workshops and edit the user's profile. It is a lot of things, a lot of features, and I think collectively, like Nilbert said, everything, yeah.
I mean, I mean, of course, I'm partial to the design of it. Like it's like I mean, I helped create this, but I'm still like in love with it. And thank you, Material UI, for providing a library that we could work with and customize and really beautify, because I know, I mean, for all of us, the visuals were important, and like we wanted to make it look like a real app. I mean, it is a real app. What am I saying? And yeah, that's definitely one of my favorite parts about it.
For me, I would say is the video component, just because it was like something new for us to work with, and then at the beginning, like it was working for like the very first time we tried, and then the next day it was not, like you couldn't get it, and then it just go like that battle between that video component just like made me gravitate to it. And I also I am kind of like, this is a small piece of our app, but I love our like loading screens. Like we have, I want to say like 20 different kind of loading screens that just like surface through our apps.
Everything.
And I mean, so our loading screens, and this is the artist is Aurelia Durans. So I mean, this is late in development. We decided like, hey, why don't we kind of create a space where we can actually feature artists. And so we were looking at different things, like, and we thought her images really spoke to us, and so we included them as part of our in the loading, provide a wider audience.
I have a technical question. I think you guys mentioned that you used Firebase for storage, but you also mentioned in the early requirements that you used the PostgreSQL database. I'm wondering how you chose where to store what. But aside from that, I just want to express my great appreciation. This website has an amazing energy, and it just really pulls you in such a great way. But I'm just really curious about the technical, how you chose to store data between those two different storage technologies.
So because we wanted to have that real-time communication in our instant chat, like we knew we wanted to use Firestore. And so in the beginning, we were like, so why don't we just move everything to Firestore and not use Postgres? We ended up deciding against that just because, one, we were more familiar with Postgres, and we limited to just having the chat and the user data. Well, actually, the user data is duplicated on both. But when users are created, it's sent to both databases. And it just worked better. I mean, with Postgres, with the relational model and the calls we were making, it just made more sense to keep it. With Firestore, it would have required a bit more upfront legwork. But it's conventional to use two types of databases. So I mean, it was working for us, and so we stuck with that.
Would you redo it all in Firestore or in Postgres if you had to, or you'd go back again and do it the same way over?
I mean, they both have their advantages, which is what I like. So I mean, we really just leverage we leverage advantages from both in the app. So I actually ended up liking the fact that we use both technologies.
Thank you, Nelber. Thank you, everybody. We are going to ask our teams to rotate now. So see you later, We Rise. Everybody else should stay here, and our next team should be joining us shortly. Thank you, We Rise.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And as we wait, please help fill out the feedback form that's down below in the chat. And also feel free to take a look at our question bank as well.
Okay. Sorry, Alejo, we didn't get to your question. Next team, maybe.
No worries.
I can see some people coming in. Yeah. We're
Oh my
waiting
gosh.
for Danny and Ohidor.
Hello.
And Sam and Danny are on their way.
I'm here.
I'm right here.
Oh, they're already here.
Ohidor. There you are.
Yeah.
Caroline?
All right, Zuvio, when you're ready, please take it away. Please share your application. And if someone can share a brief description about your application to our guests here for a refresher. Although the icon is pretty telling.
So, Zuvio, this was an idea that Sam presented to us because she is a pet owner and she has multiple pets, and she wanted something that would provide her the convenience of being able to organize everything that her pets need. And, you know, obviously we added the feature for the communication with the vets, and something that she felt like was necessary, and she didn't find it, or she couldn't find it on the market, and she didn't see it anywhere. And as far as just the functionality and everything that's with the functionality, it was extremely tailored to any pet owner. So whatever type of pet that you have, whatever kind of needs your pet has, we thought like extremely hard about that. And we're just happy that you guys love it. And thank you guys for coming.
All right, and now we'll open up the floor for questions. Oh, they're all coming in at once. I can't. I'm sorry, what was that?
Somebody else have a question? I'll just go in really quickly.
Alejo.
Alejo, you didn't ask one before. Go ahead.
Of course. Thank you. First of all, love the visuals of this app. And I'm interested on how is the image moving, that feature that you have here that's moving on to a next sort of slide working. Do you use a package? Do you implement that yourself? Yeah, and then maybe I have a follow-up after that.
Yeah, we use Bootstrap, React Bootstrap to be exact. And with React Bootstrap, it's extremely easy, I would say, because they provided a component for us. So as far as just learning how to use the component was probably like the only thing that we had to do. But just with React Bootstrap, it comes straight out of the box as a carousel component.
Got it. And so I'm a JavaScript developer as well, and I know a little bit of React. What are some of the props that you had to pass to this component for it to work?
So the props that we had to pass to the component, essentially it's a carousel component, that's the top component, and then we have the items, and the items are the actual visuals. So after that, it was just styling it and just making sure the sizes was correct, and essentially that was it.
Cool, thank you.
I'm curious about your video chat. It looked beautiful. It was really sharp and clear, and it even came across through Zoom. Which library did you use for that?
Dee can answer that. She worked hard on that one.
So we ended up using our WebRTC, and then we used this thing called Peer, which essentially wraps the WebRTC. And what Peer does was allow you to do user to user versus like user to multiple. So that's how we ended up doing that video feature.
One other question I have is about project management. You had to build such an amazing prototype in such a short time frame, and all these visuals and graphics, and I'm sure different members of the team had different priorities around that. How did you manage to quickly come to a decision? Was it a very contentious type of interaction, or would you just allow each other, whoever brought an idea, you would go with it? Or what was your way of kind of agreeing on different ways of approaching things?
So I would personally,
I don't know.
So for me, my experience for us was that we just brought everything to the table. Any idea that anyone had, we brought it to the table, and we just agreed. We used voting systems, and for the most part, everybody had great ideas. Everybody contributed. Dee wanted the messaging and the video feature. Ohidor wanted the ability to search. Sam, it was a lot of her ideas just as far as like what the pet owner would need and what they would want. and it was just our job to just build it, and we built it together. So we didn't come across any like issues or anything as far as communicating and just making those decisions, and it worked out well.
Yeah, I think in terms of organization, we really tried to come up with which features we wanted early in the process, and then try to really schedule that out within the next 10 weeks realistically on what we thought we would get done. Some things we planned within a week, other things we had within like 2 weeks, and we really tried to stick to those sprints. And so we really tried to stay organized in that regard to make sure that we stayed on top of all of the features, and especially the stuff that took a little longer than others.
Yeah. And just piggybacking off of that, we spent, I think, the first 2 weeks just doing research. It wasn't a lot of coding with the function, with like the crazy functionality. I think like maybe in the first 2 weeks, we probably got like the, sign up and log in, because that was like the easiest part. But like in regards to everything else, like we did like so much research, like, watching a lot of videos, actually creating it separately outside of the app, and then like going back to integrate it later. So yeah.
Great job.
Danny, it looks like Alexis would like us to log into the site, if you don't mind.
I was going to ask, so you just mentioned the research that you did. Were there any sites that really inspired you, inspired this design? And then my second question is, did you have to learn anything completely new to build this project?
So for the research, because we have the users portal, well, the pet owners portal and the doctors portal, we did want it to be a little separate, but we didn't want to make the doctors portal super playful, just because we still wanted to keep like a professional kind of feel. But with the pet owners, we were like, yeah, let's make it playful, let's make it warm, let's make it inviting, something that users will feel comfortable using. And I think we learned a lot. So I'm gonna, pass it on to my other team members to, talk about what they learned as well.
We learned a lot. For every, like, it's a weird feeling, because like for every project, you go into the project, you have an idea of what you want to do, and you plan it out, you go through the sprints. But as soon as you get to the point where you're actually doing it, all the problems and all the research that you did for those problems, it's almost like there's a new unique issue that you have to like specifically address. And we did a lot of research. We dedicated that time to just make sure that we knew what we were doing, and just with that foundation, we were able to get to the point where we were able to put this together. And as far as the new technologies, the WebRTC was something that we've never worked with before. Even with React Bootstrap, that's something that we've never worked with before, Socket.io, and we had to learn and put it together in that short period of time to be able to present something for you guys.
One last question from me. How are you planning on becoming an entrepreneur billionaire using this app?
So this app wasn't a part of the plan for the billionaire entrepreneur vision, but I have a lot of plans. Pursuit was something that I knew that I was going to do from a long time ago, and I gave myself the time to get here. I knew I would be here today, right now. This was a part of my master plan. And stay tuned. I have a lot of great ideas. Stay tuned. Let's stay in contact. Let's stay in touch. You will be seeing a lot of me.
Looking forward to it.
Thank you. Thank you.
And then I just have a question. I don't know if there's time, but I'm just wondering, as I'm looking at the calendar here, I'm wondering, how are you able to implement the calendar and the actual like daily activities so that they're actually stored and they show up every time the user comes on?
That's a great question. With the calendar, we utilize something else called React Calendar. And how React Calendar works is essentially you pass in an array of dates that correspond with the calendar. So literally once we create the task, that goes into our back end. And once we've loaded the calendar, it gets those dates, puts it into an array, and we pass that in as a prop to the calendar, and it displays there. And it has like all different types of functionalities. It's a great thing, but we utilize React Calendar for that.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Zuvio. It is time for your team to rotate.
All right, thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, guys.
Great job.
Thank you. All right. I think we have teeny tiny Tinny here. Thank you all for coming and joining us. If one of you can please open up the application, start screen sharing, and if another person can take the lead in explaining the app for our guests here, that would be awesome. And then we can open it up for Q&A.
So here we have Tinny, which is our revolutionary new way to manage your itinerary. The idea behind it is everything should be seamless, and gone are the days of 5 open tabs and frustration. So if you scroll down, here we have a little onboarding guide for new users to our site. It's as easy as search, customize, save, and share. 3 steps. So now for our demo purposes, for those of you that may have missed the main event, we will go in and log in as our user Chandler. For ease of use, because Google is so prevalent, we added Google authentication. So now Chandler has no itineraries yet. You can create a new itinerary by clicking here. We'll search for a term. We're gonna first go to the plaza because Chandler likes to have himself a spot of tea every now and again. He'll just add the plaza food hall. He then thinks that he'll probably kick it at the museum as well after seeing how close it is to the plaza, but doesn't want to spend too much time, so half an hour should be good. Free NYC pass and all. Now he's gonna add something else. I think Chandler might be thinking of maybe some ice cream. And 16 handles isn't quite my speed, so Emek and Bolio's seems just great. It's only 0.4 miles away from where we are now in Manhattan, or where we will be, and we'll add that as well. But Chandler's got a dash, so he's gonna delete Emek and Bolio's and shorten it up and realize that after the museum, he's got to be on his way. And quickly, he will blast that email to a friend just to let him know and have him join his Tinny. Okay. We will give you a quick preview of what it looks like when you do receive the email, just to show that it actually does work.
I don't have my phone hooked up, but yeah.
Okay.
I did. I'll show it in a
So we will skip that portion for now. But as the website is now hosted, if any of you would like, when you venture over to Tinny, you can then push your itinerary to yourself or to any of your friends.
Quick question, Javin. When you add another item to the itinerary, does it calculate the distance to the previous item, or what is that distance in reference to?
The distance references the overall location point that you've chosen. So Google provides like an overall lat longitude for Manhattan. So it's the distance from the overall area. But if you were to enter a full address, the Google Places would then be able to show you the distance from that particular point.
Did you consider building the itinerary in a way that it could actually take into account your previous step and therefore tell you how far one step is from the next, or potentially even rearrange your itinerary to optimize your day in a sense based on distance and also opening hours?
Yes, that is definitely a feature that we are looking to add in future implementations. And it was something we had considered adding if we had a bit more time. We wanted to add not only that calculation, but travel estimates based on the mode of travel that a user prefers, especially given that we all live in New York. Rafid was working on getting Uber estimates, but Uber has their API locked down better than Fort Knox. And given the time we had, we just couldn't get a student pass.
Yeah, it was a little complicated. And then even just trying to figure out like some sort of like price model feature of how we can determine how rideshares determine prices, even that itself was a little harder. So, you know, if I can find a way to maybe even message someone that works at Uber and try to get some sort of API key, that would be amazing. And we can use that to just let them know price estimates from point A to point B.
I have a technical question. I noticed that the search functionality lets you search for the name of a place as well as the name of something they have, like ice cream. Could you guys explain how that works? And also, where is this data stored? How do you make a request to, you know, get either a place by sort of their name or by their amenity or whatever their service is?
So with Yelp's API specifically, it has like a category parameter. So it could search in the event, restaurant, or activity that you're looking for, and it'll use that to find something. For location, there was like a geographical function we found. And the great thing with Yelp's API is one of the parameters is actually taking that specific location and turning it into a latitude and longitude. So that's how we're able to, that's how Yelp's API can pick up what we're looking for specifically, and then the location, and then it'll send that request to get that information based off the locations.
Got it. Any difficult part dealing with the Yelp API?
Yeah, so actually, so if like Shake Shack, for example, if you click on that bottom arrow, you're gonna get the reviews, a price if they have it, and hours of location. So now they don't have it. So oh, never mind, it's here. So that information was a little difficult for me to get because at first I was thinking I can use the exact same API keys that they gave me. And after much like frustration, I had to message Doug, and he's the one who kind of helped me realize that there was a separate API that we use, which is similar, but it's a little bit different, that I had to do a second call to get that information specifically. But honestly, Yelp API, they're very user. I mean, I would, in my opinion, it was decently user friendly. Like if you're just if you're familiar, or if you get familiar with it, it's really nice to use.
Thank you.
Of course.
Are you able to add steps in your itinerary that are non-location or Yelp based? Just let's say I want to take a 2-hour break in the middle of my day and sit down somewhere and read a book. Can I do that with this itinerary builder?
Not as of right now. That is our next steps. We do have some code in the back. If you were to add a step or a location of your choosing, we would have to ask you for the title, how long you would stay there, and the location. So the exact same things that we're pulling from this, we would just have to ask you when you create your own step. in the middle.
Okay, I think we're pretty much out of time here. So let's go ahead and rotate Tinny.
Thanks, you guys. Have a good night.
Thank you,
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Job.
Hi, Jenya.
All right.
Just a reminder to please fill out the feedback forms for these teams.
All right, I think the next group will be trip hikers. So we'll just give it a sec here. Hello, Isaiah. First one here. Thank you. Hey, Ava. Oh my goodness. Hey, Siham. Hi, Giovanni.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Jenya.
For the sake of time, we're going to just jump right in. This is Trip Hikers, Find Your Travel Partners for Life. And now let's open up the floor for some questions so we can get that dialogue going. All right, thank you.
This is our app.
All right, any questions? There's so many.
I really, really love this app. It's something that I've wanted for such a long time. I'm curious if you, is this live actually?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's hosted live.
Yes, it is.
Really great idea. I would call it trip buddies as opposed to trip hikers because the main problem is finding other buddies to join you on your trip. But
Yeah.
the idea of the app is really amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. It went through some workshopping. At first, it was just an idea for people to link up when they're in a city, and then it just grew over time to then planning your trips and getting people to join on your trips.
I have a question. Were there any, the app looks great, but the question is, were there any features that you as a group thought about, or maybe one of you thought about, but they got voted down and you did not go with them?
I think we probably went through a million ideas. I can't even think about, like, we just can't constantly like, hey, like, let's prove this. Hey, let's not do this. We were definitely thinking about how complex it would be to code it and just the time constraints. We definitely wanted to have like a very well-featured app and have a great user experience where we feel like users will be able to use the application. But yeah, it was a lot of the time constraints.
Yeah, like one feature we really wanted to implement was the match algorithm. You would fill out a questionnaire, and based on your answer to that questionnaire, it would pair you with other travelers, similar to like a dating app, but for traveling. And due to just time constraints and how close we were getting to that deadline, we were like, all right, let's just put that for after the technical showcase and try to work on it there. But for now, we're just putting that idea on the shelf.
And also like another one, like to translate the whole app with the different languages that we want, like that everybody can use it. And of course we can do it like in 10 weeks. So we're gonna do it like that. It's gonna be our main goal.
Mm-hmm.
How many different APIs are you querying? It looks like you have so much information on this app. What are the main APIs that you're querying?
Yeah, we definitely have an immense amount of APIs going on because we just wanted to pull as much information as we can for the user. We kind of wanted to have a streamlined experience where you'll stay on our page and there won't be a need to go to Google Maps or anything like that. But I think most of our important data is coming from Google. We're definitely using like Place ID, the autofill, geolocation, Google Maps, and just a lot of arguments and a lot of data going through. And it's just, you know, they're constantly feeding each other, and there's a lot going on. Just with one simple button, there's like so many things going on. It's crazy.
I'm curious how scalable this app is. How intense is the process that happens for any one given user who is scrolling through your app, searching, querying data? Like, how many users do you think you could support on a single server at the same time?
As of right now, we're looking at a small scale, we're not too sure how extensive it would be. So we're looking at we're scaling it for a smaller size, just to see how we can improve upon our scaling to make it better for the larger traffic numbers.
Is it quite intense then per user?
I would think so, yes, just because there's a lot of queries going on, not only into our backend, our server, but also Firebase and all these other APIs. So a lot of calls happen on every page.
Yeah, there's definitely many things that we were considering. So like, for example, when we had the hotspots, we were considering doing video as well. But being that we're just starting the application, we weren't sure how our website will be able to handle that. And it's being posted online. We were considering doing it on our local machine. However, we are using Firestore from Google to store those images because, you know, these can be very big files. And also with some of the APIs, unfortunately, there's some restrictions. We are using a free account. We were thinking of a business model where the website can sustain itself financially. And we will be able to get more unlimited calls, being that our user base will grow and grow. And we were thinking it would just snowball from there.
I have a question. Like, could you guys walk me maybe over one of those requests that you're making, either to your backend, to Firebase, or to other external data source? Like, could you walk me about how do you make the network request, and how does the data get processed, if anything? Maybe it could be any. You know, there's a lot of data going on around, so maybe like take one and if you could walk me through.
Yeah, I can walk you through what's happening on the trip card. Giovanni, if you could go back to the trips feed real quick, just to show. So for each of these trip cards, what's happening is we're grabbing the user from our backend and seeing if they have an open request for their trip. And if they exist in our trip request table. And if they do, then we're displaying different buttons. If they don't, then we would display a request button. And then it's also checking if you're the owner of that trip. So it's once it grabs a trip, it's seeing if you're the owner and it's displaying that delete button. And that's, I think, 2 calls or 3 calls that it's doing on each trip card. So that alone is a really extensive process that we were limiting the amount of trip cards that can be displayed at once. So I think we're limiting it to 15 at once, just so that way the process of loading all the trips doesn't take a very long.
Oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just wondering, so when you decided to pull your map data, I'm like wondering what was the benefit of like having a more detailed map over something that's kind of more just like the hotspots that you talked about, and then maybe as the user really starts looking for places that are nearby, then kind of starting to make the map more detailed.
Could you just explain a little bit about the detail? I don't think I'm understanding.
Yeah, so like I think on the very first map page you showed, it had like a bunch of places and it was showing kind of like the I don't know, the highways and everything. It was like really, really detailed, lots of information. So I'm kind of thinking, so what's the benefit of having a map like that to start with versus just a map of like your general area? For example, if I'm like on 42nd Street. Yeah, like this kind of map. So versus if I'm like in 42nd Street, it would just show me like stuff that's kind of in that very like local area, and then kind of zooming out to wherever I want to go. So if I said, okay, I actually want to go to 81st, then it would kind of show me where 81st is the hub, and then it would show me like the stuff that's kind of local to that. So just what's the benefit of like for this of having a more detailed map versus a kind of just a more local specified one?
We were definitely thinking about our user. Well, thank you for the question. We were thinking about our user and how we would be in a brand new city where we wouldn't know anything. And, you know, sometimes you can search what is a popular location, but then you'll get bombarded with a million articles. And we were trying to streamline the experience with trip hikers. And the reason it's so zoomed out is because we want to show, as more users are going to the cities, hotspots. We think it's an important feature. And for like example, if you start seeing multiple hotspots in a certain area and you don't know the city, you'll be able to see, oh, like this place is very popular. Maybe I should go check it out. And like, for example, like when you click on one of them, you'll be able to get directions to there as well. So we definitely, it's to encourage our users to share and also explore new locations. And you can zoom in as well. We were thinking about, because the Google Maps API allows you to filter things so it's not as detailed. Maybe you won't get like, for example, these suggestions appearing or the highways at all. There's a lot of filters that go on there. But we kind of want to prevent the user from going to an external Google API or Google Maps and just use everything on the website itself. We want to maintain our users' attention.
Okay, thank you.
It's time for our trip hikers to rotate. So thank you very much.
Love you, trip hikers.
Brutus, why you keep following us, man?
Trip hiker.
Hey, I mean, that's how the order's set up, but it's not a problem being behind you.
Jenny is here.
All right, thank you for your questions and your time.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.
All right, and now we have AfroLink, which is an application that celebrates Black entrepreneurship right in our community, started from New York City. Now I'd like to open up the floor for questions. We can jump straight in.
Hi, we're AfroLink, and Caroline has basically said it all. What a great introduction, and we're ready to take your question. And don't mind us, we're just fumbling around trying to actually get to our site.
Here we go.
I'll have a question to start it off. How do you think about getting this out? Like, what's your thought about getting attention for your website and actually getting people to come to it?
Number one, visit the link that's now in the chat. You can definitely share it with your friends. Maria, amazing person. She can talk about that search. I mean, not the search, the share.
So on the footer, we have a really convenient feature. It's actually an NPM package called Social Media Share, where the user can easily share our link on any social media platform that you see here. So if I were to click on the Twitter one, it would take, I'm already signed in, but it'll take us to my Twitter account where I could easily share the AfroLink link right to my page, and everybody will be able to see it. I could add a description if I wanted to. We just learned from Doug from the previous class that there's a website we could use to add more information. So that's something that we're going to look into. So like a description or a picture or something like that. Maybe the logo would be nice.
I have a question about the data, the shape of the data that you're using here for storing like the businesses, maybe as well as the individuals. And where is that stored? Where does it come from? Do you use only one data source or a few external APIs, etc.?
So AfroLink was created with initially no APIs. All this information has been scraped from web articles that explored and promoted Black-owned businesses due to the fact that we face many difficulties trying to find an API with this information readily accessible. So we look forward to actually sharing our own API. Most of it, what we were able to scrape, it has been transferred into a SQL file, and we formatted that for an API that sends in the responses and requests. We do want to share this information, so we're going to host our API separately so that any other developers can actually use that as well for their own projects. Oh, but definitely Kong can really dive deeper into what web scraping is like.
I'm gonna stop sharing so that Kong could share his code because he actually has it on his computer.
I would love to see that.
Okay, let me do a share screen. Yes. So initially we want to looking for like an API that has a Black-owned business, but we couldn't find any. Then we see that there's too many articles that release the information that's Black-owned business in certain area. For example, on this one, it show like Black-owned business in Manhattan, Chelsea, East Village, Findlay, Holland, especially Holland. You know, but with that information available, it's harder to, it's not clean data, you know, it's not easy to convert it to Excel or a data set, you know. So we heard a thing called Cherio. I we heard it from Corey. It's a web scraping packages. I think it just using the URL is grabbing everything, the HTML, the header, the footer, all informations. Once you have the code, the lines of code, is easy to grab compare like on the website. So I look into the REST data. I find something called Strong. Inside of Strong, it has an A tag. A tag is all those like little paragraphs that contain those business. Once you have that information, I was able to grab the name. That's the name of the business. And that's the hyperlink of that business. So with that information, I simply join those things together. Let me show you the result. Boom, here, that's everything. That's the name of the business. It has the URL, the link. We grab this thing, we transfer this thing into an Excel sheet. Then what we have to, but something is like manually, we have to go into the website, grabbing the hour, the physical location, some like the description or the owner name to like manual work, you know, we have to convert it. Then later on, we transfer that into a JSON into our API.
Got it. Thank you very much for showing me this. Really interesting to see Cheerio being used in this way.
Yes. You're welcome.
What are some of the key features that you would like to do next in addition to building an API?
One, we're definitely speaking about creating a portal for consumers. That way they can save information and share them as well. Aside from that, another thing that we wanted to implement moving forward is a claim business, because we did grab the businesses, but they're not connected to their business owners right now. And we do want them to have access to the information and being able to reply and have other features as well. Definitely more features out there, just like stuck up here in my brain, but in a good brainstorming session, there will be a lot more to come.
Yeah, stay in tune. Yes.
We have time for one more question.
Okay.
How's it feel to be done?
No, I feel different. I feel accomplishment.
I don't feel accomplished. I mean, I do love what we've done, but I'm sorry, Kong. I'm sorry. Don't look at me like that. It's just like, you know, I'm very happy that we're finished, but I feel like we're not done. Like there's still like, you know, so much more to do, so much more we could provide. So like I'm really excited.
Yeah.
But
You guys are just getting started for sure.
Yeah.
Have more businesses that you know about that you want to add as well, right?
Yes, and if you know of any, please email us. Let us know. Put it in a Slack, whatever you want to do. We want to put as many businesses as possible.
Oops. But are you guys thinking of like maybe a way in which business owners could sign themselves up for the app and maybe refer a way for referring also people or businesses?
We definitely have it available for business owners themselves to sign up. I'm sorry, I just took over the screen share, but we definitely encourage businesses to sign up. There's a whole sign up feature. If I was to take time and actually create a sign up, I'll be directed to the add a new business. Well, I'll be directed to my profile page where I could add the business and put in all that relative information all the way up to a picture of that business so that that could be shared right away. So I don't think I actually have a login on this one. Sorry, Maria had all of the demo information.
Right. Thank you so much, AfroLink. It is time for your last rotation before we all head back to the main room. So,
Here I do.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
Thank you for your
Bye,
question.
Tanya.
A little bit.
Bye.
All right. And last but not least, we are waiting on Rody right now.
Rody, right?
Rody. Yes. And again, please take the time to fill out the feedback form.
Rody.
They're probably finishing up answering another question. If you guys have more questions and if you want to get in contact with our fellows, I will go ahead and share that information with you in the follow-up email. So please contact all your burning questions. We will definitely help make those connections for you.
Also, thank you everybody so much again for coming out and asking questions, supporting our fellows. It's just been really awesome to have everybody here. I know our fellows are super excited about what they've produced. They're working like absolutely so hard.
I think you guys did an incredible job, honestly. Like, it's amazing how much you accomplished in 10 weeks, all of these teams. Very impressive.
Yeah, thank you. I can't believe it either. I mean, they just blow me away, you know. It's like, all right, here, let's see you guys build something here, you know, and then boom. And
They were the ones who really.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
I hear Marvin.
Marvin's here.
Oh, man.
I believe John is here too, no?
Oh, man. Everybody's here.
Corey, comment allez-vous, Corey?
Okay, Henry.
And Henry's here waiting on 2 more team members.
She is here. And Wong is here. We're good.
All right, I am excited, everybody, to introduce Rody, which is a robust all-in-one booking management application. And now the floor is yours. Can someone go ahead and bring up the application, please? Thank you. All right.
new feature perhaps has been added?
Alarm for the
That's
notification.
in the future iterations. That's a stretch feature.
I have a question. Can you guys tell us a little bit about what was one of the hardest things about working in a team? And how
I think I should answer this.
Okay, so the hardest thing about working in a team is that we had the first hardest thing was we had different ideas as to what kind of app we wanted to build. But then we kind of found a common ground of music. And so that's what brought Rhody alive. The next challenge was being remote. And so having that switch from us being all together and working like almost every day with each other, seeing each other, and being able to pair program right in that moment, it took a turn working remote. And so we just had to come up with a game plan to kind of make sure that we stayed on the same page and that we were good on that page, because it was one thing to be on the same page, but it's another thing to actually be comfortable and be good on that page. And there were times where we may not have felt comfortable, but we all kind of got on the same ball and got together working cohesively in unison. So I think that really helped us as a team.
I have a question. I love this application. I think it's a great idea. One of the big challenges is to get the word out there that you exist, and to get independent artists to use it, and event organizers. Have you considered using any kind of API or web scraping method to actually discover musicians that may have their own websites and invite them to join your platform or something to that effect? Is that something that may be in the works or anything to that point?
Marvin, you want to take this one?
Oh, sure. Okay. Well, we haven't directly thought about things like web scraping. We are aware that like one of the other groups did web scraping, so it's pretty cool in that way that's available. But one of the future implementations that we are considering, an idea was having a discover section on the website, something where an artist who are signing up, they're able to actually showcase themselves on the front and just sort of giving more of a presence on the application. I think that would be really cool and enticing for people to want to join and register and show their music and stuff. So, and also, if you aren't logged in, we actually have a page. If you're not logged in, if you're a brand new user, and say if you want to view someone's profile, just sort of as an encouragement, we have a page that we created, just to sort of give an idea as to what you can get from the application. Certain skills that you can, benefits you can get from artists and from becoming a client. So there's a number of options that we can go with, and I think that the future of Rhody is bright because we can go with all of them. It just takes time and perseverance.
We also were thinking about adding a feature implementation. We got a lot of inspiration from Spotify, and so we've thought about maybe finding a way to incorporate Spotify API to maybe perhaps pull out like the user whenever the artist appears on a playlist, and maybe like try to showcase that feature playlist.
Interesting. So, since nobody's asking questions, to fill the silence, how does the search functionality work? Like you're searching across more than one field. How is that actually implemented?
Okay, so actually, if Kevin, do you want to pull up the code?
Sure.
So the search feature is basically looking at, it's populated, the search select is populated with either you can search by artist, client, or genre. And so with that, it will look at, and if you do Command P and do search, search home, right there. No, up
Sorry,
one,
I can't really
right
see.
there.
All right.
Okay, so basically, as you see in lines 18 to about 50 something, we have our handle submit that allows us to see what the user selected, and based on that select, we can then determine the route extension that the user will go to. So for example, if they're searching for an artist or a client, the route extension will take in the search / that name that they're looking for, and populate that result. Or if they don't put in a name, it'll just generally give a result list of all of the users that we have in our database.
So will it search across multiple routes, or is it, if you're not specifying whether you're searching for an artist or a client or a genre, will it just search across all different categories, or will it just?
It's required in the form, I believe, to pick something from the dropdown.
So you're required.
So basically, you can, if I'm looking for an artist, what I can do is I cannot type in a name, but I can select for artists and then hit search, and that'll populate with all of the users. Now, if I select genre, that means that I'm wanting to search by a genre. So that is requiring to put in a specific genre type like pop or hip hop, and that will read the genres that the artist specified when they signed up with our app, and it will determine the results based on that genre listing.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ashia, and thank you, Rody. Everybody is going to be coming back now for the final portion of our evening. So just hang tight for a couple minutes here while there's that little bit of friction as everybody transfers over. And you're welcome to answer some more questions if you want, but we will be starting soon.
I have a question.
Go for it, Danny.
Corey, how do you feel right now to watch your class and watch us put on this capstone?
I feel great. Very, very proud. Great. I didn't do anything. It's all you guys. And I'm going to have some instructor remarks when everybody gets back. So it'll be a little bit more in depth.
Okay. So you're going to cry for us?
No.
No tears?
I'm going to cry. You want to cry.
Yeah. I try to get a tear out of you. All right. No tears.
Good. Yeah, sounds good. Zuvio. You gotta sign up. I have no idea when I'm supposed to take my cats to the vet.
It sounds like a bad cat dad.
Oh, how many?
I don't know if I'm a bad cat dad. It just they both. I have two cats that never leave the apartment. They seem really healthy, so I just don't regularly take them in. If something's wrong, I take them in.
Bad hair boy. I know nothing about cats.
Oh man, you're missing out.
I'm allergic.
Cat
I'm
has
fine.
tonsils in each ear.
I like cats because they leave you alone.
It was not leaving me alone today.
Oh,
Cat was following me in the store.
But I'm a dog person. Also, you ever been to a bodega?
Yeah, and the cat is sitting on top of the rice.
That
Nah,
cat
the
is
cat sleeping on the rice.
mascot.
Cats
of
are necessary, though.
Bodega Enterprise.
Remember, I watched a comedy special and they talking about how the cat is the manager.
That's the owner of the bodega.
I remember. Is that the same one where he's like, Mr. Ruiz, why the cat always sleeping on the bread?
Yeah.
Ooh, I love that one. I love that one. He's like, Bobby, I don't know, Bobby.
So I think we're all back. So
All right.
I'm gonna share my screen, and we are almost through with our evening. Okay, so we're at the instructor remarks. Oops, we went from the Q&A, now we're here. So for the last year and a half, I've had the honor and opportunity to work with 22 of the most incredible people that I've ever met. These fellows have sacrificed their weekends and their evenings after a long day's work in pursuit of a better future. As a unit, we have built an incredible developer culture based on accountability, honest expectations, music, and pair programming. I'm extremely proud of how far we have come, and I'm ecstatic to see how far we can go. I'd like to thank each and every one of you and for making such a powerful impact on my life. Oh, I'm just realizing the closed captionings aren't on anymore, so hang on. Thank you, Henry, for always coming to class with a huge smile. Thank you, Brandon, for always showing me a unique way to solve a problem. Thank you, Brutus, for opening up to me and sharing your thoughts. Thank you, Maria, for always communicating and going above and beyond. Thank you, Nober, for inspiring me and many others to learn better design principles. Thank you, Kong, for always being ready to dive into a bug. Thank you, Sam, for always laughing at all of my jokes. Thank you, Jay Jones, for showing me the power of a 4-day work week. Thank you, Marvin, for your incredible enthusiasm that you show in tech. Thank you, Giovanni, for always showing awesome patience. Thank you, Danny, for the great combos and always making sure you understand every detail. Thank you, Fowler, for helping explain things in a different way. Thank you, Isaiah, for always being ready to help others. Thank you, Doug, for making me laugh. Thank you, Wong, for being so reliable. Thank you, Rafid, for always being receptive of feedback. Thank you, Ujwaka Basi, for sharing so much about your life to me. Thank you, Deja, for being so responsive, even while remote. Thank you, Crystal, for being a great pair during pair programming. Thank you, Ashia, for always asking questions and making sure things are clear. Thank you, Siham, for showing amazing grit and never giving up. And thank you, Ohidor, for always demonstrating determination. I'm so lucky to have had all of you in my class. Thank you so much for making this one of the best years of my life. Oops, I think I jumped a slide. Now, I'd like to introduce one of the fellows from 6.4 to speak on behalf of the class. This fellow was chosen because despite the many obstacles that they have endured over the last year, they have continued to push forward, thrive, and become the very first fellow from 6.4 to meet all of Pursuit's job readiness standards. So please unmute and let's give a warm welcome to Isaiah Collazo, everybody.
Isaiah! MVP! 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 MVP!
Tears away after that quote.
Valedictorian!
I don't even know if I can speak now.
Speech.
Well, hello, everyone. I'm Isaiah, and I want to start by thanking everyone here for supporting us through this technical showcase. It's definitely been a journey for all of us, especially due to COVID and any other personal issues that might have arisen during this time. But being able to show off what we've accomplished has definitely made it all worth it. I started out as a student at Rochester Institute of Technology before I decided to look for other opportunities. That search led me to Pursuit, where I've been able to grow and as both a developer and a person. Through my time in the program, I've always strived to go above and beyond what was asked of me. Since the first project, I've been throwing in my own little twists on my submissions. For our Hangman game, for example, I added in categories and difficulties you could choose from that would change the pool of words that can be chosen from. I work overnights at Duane Reade, so after our class would end, I would go straight to work an hour and a half early and spend that time working on my projects. During my break time, I used that short 30 minutes to clean up any bugs I had before work. The train ride home, the ride to Pursuit. I knew the job search process might take a long time, so I had to do everything and anything I could to make my portfolio stand out and be as appealing as possible. Like working on my passion projects. My favorite was recreating the Spotify client using its own API, where I was able to take away two things: how helpful it is to start by breaking everything down into its smallest pieces and building up from there, and planning. You can never plan enough, and I definitely did not plan anywhere near as much as I should have, especially on an app of that size. I've taken both of those lessons to every project I've worked on, and I've tried to help other fellows realize how important those things are. But there's more to being a developer than just the technical skills. The professional side is just as important. I wasn't the best public speaker, but I loved helping out other fellows. So when I was approached by my program manager to lead lunch study sessions, despite any hesitations I had, I agreed. I didn't do too well the first few times, but as time went on and I kept practicing, we restructured the meetings and I reviewed my notes, I got a lot better. And I felt comfortable failing because Pursuit, one of the first things they taught us was that failing's okay, as long as you use it to lead towards your success. And now through Pursuit, I'm able to fully realize my childhood dream and become a developer. It's been a year since our journey started, and I'm definitely speaking for all of 6.4 when I say it's been an amazing, life-changing experience. You know, thank you to everyone that's helped us and supported us on our way.
Woo!
Woo!
Let's go. Thank you, Isaiah. So, call to action, right? Thank you again so much to everyone for coming out tonight and supporting our fellows. If you liked what you saw and you feel compelled to do more and get involved, please, we welcome you. Please submit feedback forms so our fellows continue to grow and improve. All of the fellows that you saw tonight are currently on the job market. So please advocate for them with your networks and refer them. Please volunteer to help and work with our fellows. And lastly, please reach out to pursue partnership opportunities with our PBD team. Thanks again from the bottom of our hearts for joining this evening, and a special thanks to all of the incredible volunteers that left a lasting impact on the 6.4 cohort in alphabetical order by last name, as well as to all of the Pursuit staff that helped out and everyone else as well. Wouldn't be possible without every single person here. So thank you everybody so much, and good night.
And everybody.
Thanks, Corey.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Good night. Congratulations.
Great job, everyone.
Thank you all.
Thank
Thank
you.
everyone for coming. That was so amazing. Congratulations, everybody.
Thank
you.
Good
to see you all.
Thank you.
Great job.
I love you, 6.4.
We love you, Jenya. And John, and Celine, and Corey, and Jimmy.
Night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.